Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting. I appreciate the support. And if you're interested in supporting me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon link. The link is in the description below, or my Ko-fi link, again, it's in the description below. In this video, I want to actually speak to you guys about food and sustenance, and why INFJs have such a hard time with both, with anything related to taking care of themselves, really. Particularly with food, though, a lot of us, I think generally people in this world, I don't think it's necessarily laziness, but there is this general trend in the world where it feels like it's such a hassle to procure food, to go find food or to cook it and then eat it and then consume it and digest it and then, deal with the aftermath of it and then do it over and over and over and over again for the rest of eternity, for the rest of your life. Now, of course, if you love food, that's great. And I love food as well. I mean, I'm a major foodie. And so when I have the chance, I really indulge myself. I'll sit and eat for hours and hours with friends, having a conversation, eating delicious foods, trying different things out, moving from place to place, from restaurant to restaurant. And so I do that with people I know love food as much as I do, right? But in general, my schedule is so tight sometimes that I don't, not only do not have time to go out for food, but I don't even sometimes have time to think about food. And in those moments, I know as an INFJ, it's very easy for me to be like, all right, cool, yeah, I can skip one meal. It's not a big deal. I've been eating so well the last few days. If I want to skip one meal, it's not going to be a big deal. I can finish more work. I don't have to worry about this and that. And then I can catch up with my food. I can have a bigger lunch, or I can eat more in my dinner time, things like that. And then I've noticed for myself particularly is that if I continue this trend where I skip a meal, I notice that, yes, of course, I get really hungry and I get a hunger headache or something like that. But if I don't, and if I just keep on working, I'm distracted enough, if I'm deep into a project, that I notice that I can skip a breakfast and a lunch and then be starving by dinner time, by the time I'm finished my work. And literally, I have no energy at that point. I'm literally sitting on my couch. And this happens a lot in Chiang Mai. It's easier when I'm in Toronto with my parents and my mom, because she cooks a lot and there's always leftovers in the fridge. But in Chiang Mai in Thailand, I don't even have my fridge plugged in because I don't have any food in there. I don't have any leftovers. I usually eat out all the time. And I don't keep any snacks in the house because I just finish them all right away. So really my pantry is empty, my fridge is not functioning. And so there's no food in the house, basically. If I want to eat, I have to go out. And by the time sometimes the evening comes around, I'm just exhausted, not only from the work, but from the day. And I just want to fall asleep. But my stomach is growling and empty. And at that point, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just kind of ignore the hunger pangs and fall asleep, or at least I do that a lot in the past. Now I don't. I try not to do that anymore. I'll try to get something into my belly, even if it's just a smoothie, even if it's just a quick salad, even if it's just a quick somtam, which is a papaya salad, a raw papaya salad, which is very popular in Thailand. It's very easy for them to make it. It takes 2 seconds. There's a bunch of those places around my apartment, so I'll just go quickly grab a somtam salad and I eat that. Get at least something into my belly. But that's something that I've noticed a bunch of other people speak about as well. That it's just seems sometimes like, this body, that physical body that we have, as an individual, it's so much easier just to spend all of our time in our head, in our imagination, in the virtual worlds that we created for ourselves, on our phone, on our laptop, in our work, distracting ourselves from reality, the reality of the fact that we are a meat sack, that we have this physical body that needs sustenance, not only in the form of food, but you need to keep on drinking water. I do carry this bottle around with me everywhere because I would forget otherwise. We do need sleep, and sometimes that seems like a big hassle as well. Like, why am I spending so much time, 8, 9 hours a night sleeping, and when I could actually be working or doing things or reading or working on my project? And all of the other stuff that we have to do in order to take care of ourselves, taking a shower, brushing our teeth, going out and hanging out with friends so that we have social skills, all of the things that we have to do in order to survive as a human being. It seems like such a waste of time and such a hassle. But I noticed that particularly with food. I noticed that sometimes I'm just sitting there thinking, oh my God, if this could just be made easier, it would be so much easier for me in general. And so I think I've told you guys this before. I've kind of created a schedule or a routine in my food behavior, especially when I'm in Chiang Mai, because it's not that hard in Toronto. Toronto, there's always food in the fridge, as I said. But in Chiang Mai, in Thailand, when I live there, what I usually do is I have two places that I go to every single day. So I have this place that I go to in the morning, but I'm really not interested in thinking about food. And when I have those moments or weeks where I just want to focus on work, there's this place I go to in the morning. It's open every day except Saturday, so that's perfect. So I go in the morning, I'll take my container with me, I'll eat my breakfast there while I'm reading some manga. I'll pack my lunch, so I'll have something packed in my container. I'll come back, eat lunch whenever I'm ready, or whenever my 2, 3 p.m., whenever I'm done with some work and I feel like I'm ready. And then once I'm done with the day entirely, then I'll go out and have some food somewhere, or I will just make some ramen at home, or I'll go grab a somtam, like a papaya, raw papaya salad. And so I've kind of made this system, and I know exactly which places are open every single day, so I can go to these places and I can buy my food. Sunday is a little bit difficult because a lot of places are closed on Sunday, so I have to really think about it. But even Sunday, I've kind of made like a schedule where I can go to these couple of places that are open. And so this is the way I make sure, as an INFJ, as an individual who has a really hard time taking care of herself, especially of her food needs, that I have certain places that I go to. I do it every single day so that I don't even have to think about it. It's automatic. I get up in the morning, I do my morning routine, and I start feeling hungry after a while, after doing a little bit of work. I drop everything that I'm doing and I go to the place nearby my house. I grab my container when I go there. I eat some food. I fill my belly as much as possible so that I don't have to think about food for a little bit. 4 or 5 hours later, I'll have my lunch that was packed. And then 4 or 5 hours after that, I'll have my dinner and fall asleep after. Right? And so that way, and I've told you guys this before, it's very easy for us to forget about things unless it's on our schedule. But if we kind of make a habit of it, we don't even have to think about it, then it's fine. If I had to think about food every single day, where am I going to go? What am I going to eat? It would be such a hassle and it would take up so much of my time, so much of my energy that I wouldn't even do it properly. I would skip meals all the time. I wouldn't think about it. And then obviously that's not taking care of myself, right? I don't want to do that. I've done that in the past and I really don't want to do that anymore, right? Because if I want to be creativity requires a lot of energy. All of these videos require a lot of energy. All the work that I do requires energy. And I don't want my blood glucose level going down. I don't want my sugar level going down. I don't want my brain to go into a fog. I don't want it to dim down. I want it to be happy and functioning at peak capacity so I can do all the things that I want to do with my life. And one of the ways I've done that is create a schedule for the food that I eat and, of course, all the different places that I eat it at. Now, a lot of you probably are not in the same boat because you probably have a kitchen that's functional, that you probably use a lot. Probably eating out is not such a big deal for you because you have places all around you and it's fine. Also, a little bit of an issue that I've created for myself is I've become vegetarian, vegan, so that a lot of places that are open, I can't go to them. Like, there are loads of places around me that are open in Chiang Mai, but they serve meat, a lot of meat. And so I have to kind of avoid them, especially when I'm in my phases of not eating any meat, which is quite often. And so again, that's a restriction that I've created for myself. I also kind of try avoid gluten as much as possible. So as much as possible, I don't eat bread or pasta. So again, that's creating a little bit of issue, but that's okay. I mean, I've worked around it and I've found places that I can go to. But for you, if you have a kitchen and you have the capacity to cook, probably a lot of you still have issues with feeding yourself, especially if you're an INFJ. And I've noticed that for myself as well when I did have a kitchen when I was living in Toronto. Even then, I'd try to make sure I did my groceries once a week and I'd have my pantry full of food or my fridge full of food so I could cook. But a lot of times, maybe it was laziness, but a lot of times I think it was just that I was so distracted by work that I'd forget that there is this physical body that needs to be taken care of. It might just be a shell. It might just be, a physical manifestation of our spiritual self, but we still need to take care of it because it is the body that we have that while we are alive on this planet, So we really have to make sure that we feed ourselves properly, we take care of ourselves properly, we take care of our hygiene issues, and we brush our teeth properly. Again, some other things that INFJs have a hard time remembering. I know a bunch of INFJs told me sometimes they don't even brush their teeth all day long. And I know that sounds gross, but a lot of times we're so in our head, we're so distracted by things that we don't even think about it. It's just something that slips our mind. Yeah. So as I said, create a schedule for yourself, create some kind of routine, something that allows you to not use, not forget about food and sustenance as a priority. It should really be one of the priorities that you have. Yes, reading your books, doing a project is a priority. Doing these videos is a priority for me. But once I'm taken care of, once I've had my proper sleep, once I've had a good meal, once I've had enough water, once I've done all of those things, yes, then my priority is definitely doing all my work, because otherwise my work would be shoddy anyways. If I was hungry, I would be irritable and I wouldn't do a good job of these videos. If I was hungry, I'd get angry and I wouldn't do a good job replying to comments, things like that. And so I really recommend that you guys create some kind of routine, some kind of schedule around your food, your sleep, your self-care routines, because that's important as an INFJ. You're going to forget about it otherwise. And again, that is not a good place to be. It creates a lot of unhealthy INFJ behavior. And I've been there, I've done that. It's not fun. If you guys have any questions about this, obviously let me know. It's a funny thing to think that that would be an issue for us, especially because a lot of us we are very sensual creatures and we do love food. But what to do? That's something that comes up for me quite often. So I do think that's something that probably comes up for you guys as well. If you have questions, let me know. If you think you want to support me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon or Ko-fi link. They're in the description below. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.